welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. Islamic scholars from India and Bangladesh discuss about religious extremism and terrorism. Student protest against fee hike in Karakoram University against Pakistan's illegal regime in Gilgit-Baltistan. And devotees in India, Nepal throng temples to celebrate Navratri. Let's begin the show. In an effort to combat religious extremism and terrorism, the Indo-Islamic Heritage Center recently hosted a roundtable conference in New Delhi. Distinguished scholars, politicians and experts from India and Bangladesh attended the two-day conference. The main goal was to discuss the urgent threats posed by terrorism and religious extremism in South Asian region. We have a detailed report. The post-9/11 phase has opened the floodgates to a whole new paradigm shift in the perceptions of national and international security. With renewed interest of the world players in the subcontinent and not immune to global transformations, South Asia consequently stands at the threshold of critical challenges vis-a-vis its strategic environment, accepted wisdom and policy orientation. Islamic scholars from India and Bangladesh recently discussed the problems caused by terrorism and religious extremism by radical groups in South Asia at a conference titled Role of Civil Societies in Strengthening Bilateral Relations. Muhammad Abdur Rahim, Joint Secretary, Bangladesh Islami Front, said that terror organizations like ISIS, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Jamaat-e-Islami are behind creating uncertainty in the region. Such terror groups don't represent any religion or institution.
Sufism do not like terrorism, extremism, radicalism. Sufism working for the peace. We are wanted to establish harmony nationwide, worldwide. But terrorism, extremism, working for discord, like Jamaat Islam Bangladesh, like Jaish-e-Mohammed Pakistan, like IS, like Salafism, like IS, working for terrorism. They are left Islam, they are not real Islam. We believe real Islam, Ahl Sunnat, Wal Jamaat and Sufism. Bangladesh and India, actually spiritual connectivity is very strong, like Haja Moinuddin Chisti and his many followers in Bangladesh, like Nijamuddin Auliya, his followers, available followers in Bangladesh, like Ashraf Jahangir Simnani, Ashrafia Darbar Sharif. There are a lot of followers in Bangladesh, like Ala Hazrat Imam Ahmad Raza Khan, his lot of followers in Bangladesh working for peace and Sufism, protecting terrorism.
Member of Khusro Foundation, Dr. Hafizur Rahman, said that New Delhi and Dhaka should fight together against radicalization as both South Asian countries are deep believers of Sufism. The Indian scholars emphasized that both neighboring countries must stand together to confront these challenges, ensuring peace and security in the region. Moreover, they praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision for global unity and for the success of the G20 summit.
When they were fighting for the liberation of Bangladesh in 1971, if you go in detail, the Pakistan Army and Jamaat-e-Islami volunteers were killing them because they were not Urdu-speaking people. So they were killing Muslims, those were Bengali speaking, they were killing non-Muslim, those were Bengali speaking, and it happened because of Jamaat-e-Islami's radicalization, which have been written by Maulana Abul Ala Maududi. And both Bangladesh and India are deeply believer of Sufism. So our roots are through Sufism. We must carry forward the education of Khwaja Gharib Nawaz or Nizamuddin Aulia or Amir Khusro or Dara Shikoh. There is no discrimination because of caste, creed, gender and religion. India has preached since last over 5,000 years and 7,000 years that world is one family, and it has been advocated highly by Honorable Prime Minister during the G20. Another side in Islam, there is hadith of Prophet, Al-Khalq wa Ayalullah, yani all creation is the family of God.
The terror groups in South Asia have their base in Pakistan and neighboring Afghanistan. These groups not only carry out attacks in other South Asian countries, but they radicalize youth and other religious and political organizations towards extremism. Skill development has become a key component for the overall growth of Kashmiri youth. The Government of India is taking great strides in developing several industrial training institutes in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir to create a skillful lot of youngsters. The Industrial Training Institute in Kalakot, Tehsil of Rajouri district, is one among many government institutes that are providing skill training in a variety of trades. For the youth residing in far-flung areas of the Union Territory, the ITI is serving as a platform to make them self-reliant and trade masters in various job segments. We have a report.
Skill development is one of the essential aspects of the growth of any region. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, having a good demographic dividend, has a great potential to provide skilled manpower. To harness this young energy for the growth of the Union Territory and the nation, the Government of India has established several industrial training institutes in even the remotest corners of Kashmir. The Industrial Training Institute or ITI in the Kalakot Tehsil of Rajouri district is one such institute which has been providing training to the youth coming from far-flung villages and towns.
हमारे राजौरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हम ऑलमोस्ट जो रेगुलर ट्रेनिंग्स हैं उसमें हम 1000 बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग करते हैं हर साल, जो रेगुलर ट्रेनिंग, और उसके अगेंस्ट हमारे शॉर्ट टर्म कोर्सेज भी होते हैं जहाँ पे भी हमारे 1000 से 1500 बच्चे और एडिशनली ट्रेन होते हैं। और ये सारा बेनिफिट जो है ज़्यादातर लोगों को ITI करने का यही होता है कि अपने ही एरिया में और अपने ही आसपास के एरिया में ये अपना जो है रोज़गार कर सकते हैं, अपने घर में रह के बच्चा जो है अपना अर्निंग्स कर सकता है। ये सबसे बड़ा ITI का फ़ायदा है कि अगर आप घर में ही हो तो अपने आसपास के एरिया में आप काम कर सकते हो।
The institute provides a gamut of trades for its students to choose from. The students can learn from basic to advanced level by paying a small annual fee. The skilled students who finish the courses at ITI are in high demand in the market, and the students who want to set up their own businesses and become entrepreneurs, they too are immensely benefited from these courses.
यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ट्रेड हैं, जैसे कंप्यूटर हो गया, स्टेनो हो गया, ड्रेस मेकिंग हो गया, और मैं इस ट्रेड में हूँ, ड्रेस मेकिंग में हूँ। तो यहाँ पे बहुत कुछ सिखाया जाता है, रेगुलर मैम आते हैं, सब कुछ होता है। सो यहाँ पे ड्रेस के साथ साथ डिज़ाइनिंग सब कुछ बताया जाता है, ठीक ठाक बताया जाता है। सो यहाँ पे बहुत मतलब फ़ायदे होते हैं।
Through these training institutes, the youth residing in far-flung areas of the Union Territory are able to skill themselves and open up new avenues of growth for themselves and the local society. Whether it is basic knowledge of computers, stenography, electrical engineering, fashion designing, construction, the institute trains its students in several skills of their choice.
यहाँ पे हमारे पास कुल जो है 8 ट्रेड जो है वो कंटिन्यू चल रहे हैं, जिसमें हमारे पास सबसे पहले जो है कोपा ट्रेड चल रहा है, उसके बाद हमारे पास स्टेनो ट्रेड है, सेक्रेटरी प्रैक्टिस, उसके बाद ड्रेस मेकिंग, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक, इलेक्ट्रिशियन, प्लम्बर, बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन। जैसे कि हमारे पास डिफरेंट ट्रेड जो है यहाँ पे हमारे पास चल रहे हैं और फार फ्लंग एरिया से बच्चे हमारे पास यहाँ पे एडमिशन लेते हैं, जैसे मोगला, तरियाट, सियालसी वगैरह से, सोलकी से, ये बाजी मोड़ वगैरह, वहाँ से जो है इतने दूर दूर से बच्चे जो है हमारे पास जो है यहाँ पे सुंदरबनी तक भी बच्चे हमारे पास यहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग करते हैं।
The fashion designing course is widely popular among the women in the Union Territory. The students and trainers in this particular trade say the course not only helps them in earning for the family but also makes them self-reliant and provides them an opportunity to manage the home duties along with their work.
इस ट्रेड का ये फ़ायदा है कि वो अपनी इस ट्रेड में आएँ और इस ट्रेड में कपड़े सिलाई करना, काटना, प्रैक्टिकली पूरे काम करवाया जाता है, वो सीख कर अपना आगे स्टैंड ले सकती हैं। ये ट्रेड सीख कर बड़ी बड़ी बुटीक खोल सकती हैं, मार्केट में कोई अपनी छोटी सी शॉप खोल सकते हैं, या कोई अपने घर पे छोटी सी मशीन रख कर अपना घर पे भी कारोबार चला सकती हैं। और साथ साथ में अपनी फैमिली को भी ये काम करने से वो क्या कर सकती हैं, साथ लेकर चल सकती हैं। घर का कामकाज भी संभाला जा सकता है और इधर से ये काम भी आराम से किया जा सकता है और इस ट्रेड का आज हद फायदा होता है।
The devoted youths of Kashmir have made their names in diverse sectors, and the government training institutes like ITI Kalakot are putting concerted efforts in upgrading their courses and equipping trainees with the latest technical knowledge. The youngsters too are making significant advancements by seizing opportunities to learn and implement their skill sets at their jobs.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Thousands rallied in Budapest opposing the agenda of Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Demonstrators marched through the streets of the Hungarian capital hours after Orban's speech marking the anniversary of Hungary's failed 1956 uprising against Soviet rule, where he criticized the EU leaders, calling Brussels a bad contemporary parody that he said could still be fixed. Some protesters in Budapest voiced fears that Hungary might end up leaving the EU under his rule, a prospect Orban has repeatedly dismissed. Distrust of Orban has been running high in Brussels after bitter run-ins during his 13 years in power over the rights of gay people and migrants in Hungary, as well as tightening state controls over NGOs, academics, the courts and media. The EU has suspended the payment of billions of euros worth of funding to Hungary over rule of law concerns, complicating the nationalist leaders' efforts to drag the economy out of its longest technical recession since modern records started.
At least 13 people were killed and several others injured after two trains collided in Bangladesh. A passenger train crashed into a freight train in Bahrab, about 80 kilometers northeast of the capital Dhaka. Local police chief Rasail Sheikh told media that at least 17 bodies have been recovered from the scene, rising the death toll from 13 initially reported. Authorities said the freight train smashed into the passenger train from behind, damaging two coaches.
new energy projects have gained popularity among overseas buyers at the 134th session of the China Import and Export Fair, also known as the Canton Fair, which opened on October 15. Many companies are trying their best to catch buyers' eyes with products involving electric vehicles, lithium batteries, and solar cells, which drive China's foreign trade growth as competition intensifies in the field. The new energy products at Canton Fair have shifted from single type to diversified ones, including solar panels and solar chargers, which are lightweight, foldable, and flexible. The latest session of Canton Fair, which will run until November 4th, has also set a new scale record.
The ongoing student protests against the Karakoram University fee hike have turned into a massive uprising against the illegal regime of Pakistan in Gilgit. General public, activists and local political leaders too have joined the protests against the administration, demanding an early resolution to the fee hike issue. During the times when spiraling inflation has ruptured the basic livelihood means for the locals, the unreasonable fee hike in the tuition fee has dashed hopes and aspirations of thousands of students seeking a better future. We have a report.
The student protest against the fee hike in Karakoram University in Gilgit has snowballed into a public outrage against the Pakistan-backed administration. It has been months since the protests have erupted in the illegally occupied territory against the university and the local administration. Resented with the university's decision to increase the fee by 85% within a year, the parents, activists and local political leaders too have joined the protest.
आज मेरे हाथ में यह पर्ची आई है कि 2022 से लेके 2023 तक वीसी साहब ने 85% फीसों में इजाफा किया है, जबकि कानून आइन उनका जो अपना कानून है यूनिवर्सिटी का वो कहता है कि आप सालाना 10% बढ़ाएं। बाकी जो 75% बढ़ा रहे हैं वो वीसी पेट्रोल पंप के लिए बढ़ा रहा होगा।
The students and the protesters blame the university's vice-chancellor for splurging the board revenue on his personal whims and fancies. The protesters warn the administration against a civil disobedience movement if they do not roll back on the fee hike decision.
हम रियासत को इस रंगीले वीसी को ये मुतम्बिह करते हैं कि अगर एक हफ्ते के अंदर अंदर आपने बेतहाशा फीसों के इजाफे का ये नोटिस ये वापस नहीं लिया तो हम फीसों के खिलाफ सिविल नाफरमानी के लिए भी आपके साथ खड़े होंगे। हम फीस नहीं दो वाले नारा लगाएंगे।
याद रखो, अगर आपके साथ किसी ने जबरदस्ती करने की कोशिश की, जबरन करने की कोशिश की तो ये न देखो ये गोल वाला बंद होगा, पूरा गिलगित बल्तिस्तान बंद होगा, पूरा गिलगित बल्तिस्तान जाम होगा, दियामर भी जाम होगा, सिकरदो भी जाम होगा, नगर हुंजा भी जाम होगा, गिजर भी जाम होगा।
Agitated with university's policies and mismanagement, students and protesters demand an immediate resolution to the fee hike issue. They criticize the administration for appointing an incompetent vice-chancellor and giving him a free rein to splurge the university's resources and revenue.
यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर 85% फीस इसका बढ़ाना इस बात की दलील है कि ये वीसी नाअहल था, नाअहल है, नाअहल रहेगा। इसलिए ये बंदा पिछले साल इसकी मुलाजमत फारिग हुई है, इस साल पूरा 1 साल से ज्यादा हो रहा है। ये नाजायज तरीके से अपनी मुलाजिमत को एक्सटेंशन करवा के यहाँ पे ऐशो इशरत करके बोर्ड के रिवेन्यू को इकट्ठा करके सुरुप और सुरुप अपनी अयाशियों पर यूनिवर्सिटी को चलाना चाह रहे हैं, लेकिन उसकी हम इजाजत नहीं देंगे।
The improvised region of Gilgit-Baltistan has only a few higher education institutions. The unprecedented fee hike has certainly dashed all hopes of students and their parents to the ground. Karakoram University is the only public sector university in the region with enrollment of around 10,000 local students. Amid spiraling inflation and unreasonable fee hike, the students of Karakoram University have become victims of double whammy.
Now we take you to immerse in the vibrant and joyful spirit of Navratri, a festival that celebrates the divine goddess and the triumph of good over evil. Navratri, which means 9 nights, is a festival dedicated to the goddess Durga and one of the most revered festivals in the Hindu religion. It is celebrated in the bright half of the Hindu calendar month Ashwin, which typically falls in the Gregorian months of September and October. Have a look. Hindu devotees from all across India throng temples as the Hindu festival of Navratri, or the festivities of 9 nights, was recently celebrated across the country with religious fervour. Navratri, derived from the ancient Sanskrit words 9 nights, is being celebrated this year from October 15th to October 24th. The essence of Navratri is the worship of the divine feminine energy, symbolized by goddess Durga. Each day, different forms of the goddess are venerated, from the fierce Durga to the gentle Mahagauri. In northern Jammu and Kashmir's Katra town, the Vaishno Devi shrine is seen as a heavy rush of pilgrims who are turning up in large numbers to offer prayers and seek blessings. A large number of devotees visited the holy shrine of Mata Vaishno Devi temple on the 9th day of Navratri. The sacred shrine is adorned with thousands of multi-hued flowers to welcome the pilgrims.
मैं बहुत दिनों से आना चाह रहा था। पिछली बार भी मैं 1 साल पहले भी नवदुर्गों में महोत्सव में आया था। यहाँ क्या है, हमारे यहाँ झांकी महोत्सव चलता है नवदुर्गों में, इसलिए माता के दरबार में हम वैष्णो देवी के धाम में नवदुर्गा महोत्सव में आए हैं और यहाँ बहुत अच्छी फूलों की सजावट होती है।
Navratri is a significant Hindu festival celebrated over 9 nights and 10 days. People observe fast during the festivities and some limit their diet to fruit and vegetables, abstaining from meat, onions and garlic. The temples are exquisitely decorated with flowers, leaves, petals and lights, and the priests dress and adorn the statues of goddess Durga. Moreover, as a part of these celebrations, Kanya Pujan is observed on the 8th or 9th day, depending on the regional customs. One of the most exciting aspects of Navratri is the Garba and Dandiya dance. People come together in colourful attire, moving to the rhythmic beats of traditional music, creating an enchanting and joyful atmosphere. This is the time for bonding, celebration, and creating unforgettable memories. In Thiruvananthapuram city, devotees visited Chentitta Devi temple to offer prayers and also seek blessings from goddess Durga.
We are standing in front of Chentitta Devi Kshetram. Here actually the deity from Shujindram temple comes during the Mahanavami festival. So during the Mahanavami festival, this is one of the 3 temples that we people from Trivandrum visit.
The grand 10-day-long festivities also celebrated in neighbouring Nepal in a grand manner. Serpentine queues were witnessed outside the famous Taleju Bhavani temple in Nepal as it opened its gates for devotees on the auspicious occasion of Mahanavami. Regarded as one of the Shakti Peeth in Hinduism, the temple is only opened for public on the 9th day of Daishin or Dashera festival. The day is also considered as the final day to make ritual sacrifices of livestock to goddess Durga and her various incarnations during the 10-day-long festival.
अब एक वर्षमा एकचोटि आउनु पर्ने मन्दिर धेरै राम्रो छ सबै भक्तजनहरू आइरहनु भएको छ यहाँ हामी चाहिँ 6:40 देखि लाइन बसेको थियौ अहिले भर्खर यहाँ आइपुग्यौ लगभग 1 घण्टा अराउन्ड भइसक्यो
Navratri culminates on the 10th day, coinciding with the Dashera festival with the killing of demon king Ravana and Mahishasur, signifying the victory of good over evil. The burning of the effigies of the demon king Ravana signifies our collective commitment to vanquishing negativity and darkness from people's lives.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We'll be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.